What is up? Thank you as always for joining me, your boy JG, back with another episode of What Did We Learn on Monday Night Raw. First thing we learned, once again, Raw does not deliver on a Monday Night Raw after the pay-per-view. Shucks, gee whiz, oh golly, what's new? After you build tremendous momentum coming out of Survivor Series, you're going to hear it out of my mouth. I actually thought Survivor Series was good. I didn't think it was great, but I really thought it was good. Thought it was one of the best shows I've seen for the year. Not only that, it all made sense to me. I mean, people out there questioning why was Raw so dominant? Well, because SmackDown won the World Cup. It's just that simple, man. You got to give one to one and one to the other. It makes sense logically to me. So I enjoyed Survivor Series. So I was actually looking forward to seeing what we would see transpire on Monday Night Raw. Unfortunately, we had to sit through 3 hours of just nonsense. I mean, we had 2 singles matches throughout the entire show. The rest of it was a collage of 6-man tag matches or tag team matches. Like, what's going on? With the momentum that you build from Sunday night, why did you not keep this program going and flowing? So to start it off, man, we learned that pretty much Braun Strowman got demolished by Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Raw kicks off with Baron Corbin coming out, introducing Stephanie McMahon coming out, giving each other credit for the success that they had at Survivor Series. Then we get Braun Strowman coming out. It's time for Stephanie to answer to her demands. She makes the stipulation that if Braun can beat Baron Corbin at TLC, then Baron Corbin will not be the GM going forward. But if Baron Corbin does somehow win, Baron Corbin will be the permanent GM as we move forward on the Raw show. Stephanie wants to see Baron lead by example. So she puts him in a 6-man tag match. We got Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman. Who was his partners last night? Jesus, man. Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, and Elias. Elias gets counted out. Finn's hit with the Claymore and pin. Pretty much we're down to a 3-on-1 situation. 3 versus Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman ends up landing the power slam and pinning Baron Corbin. After this, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre proceed to absolutely destroy Braun Strowman, but not only that, using a belt and stretching his arm across the steel steps, taking the top case of the steel steps, Baron Corbin smashes against Braun Strowman. As far as we know now, Braun is busted up and that arm is done. So we got to see if he's even healthy for a return at TLC, or could it possibly be one of those situations where we see him wearing a cast going forward for a little bit? It would only add to the persona of how beast he is, but what does this mean? Not only for that, this damn near puts in Baron Corbin's mind that there's no way he can be stopped at TLC. So are we going to really see Baron Corbin be our permanent GM going forward on Raw? Then, throughout the night, well, we'll save that to the end. Then, we get trash, man. We get Sasha and Bayley versus Tamina and Nia. For me, it was an absolute demolishing. Nia and Tamina pick up the win. What's left to be said? That's frustrating, man. That's frustrating. You start out the show with a 6-man tag and then a women's tag. Come on, man. And not a good one. Not a good one. We should have seen a true bang down. And yes, there were parts where Bayley and Sasha had the upper hand for a minute. But overall, it just kind of felt like a glorified squash match. So then we proceed on into the show. We get our third match of the night, which once again, another multi-man match. We get Lucha House Party versus The Revival. Then we get The Revival losing to a distraction by a piñata. One of the best tag teams on your show. One of the dude, they should be challenging AOP for the titles. I think that would be a phenomenal matchup. I think AOP in the long run should be victorious in it, but I think that would be phenomenal. But instead, we have the Revival losing the Lucha House Party due to a pinata distraction. This is frustrating, man. Not only that, it's a Lucha House Party rules, so it's all 3 members of the Lucha House Party versus 2 of the Revival. Woo! Cool, man. So, for 3 matches to start off the show, we've already seen damn near half your roster. Okay. So, at this point, we think the show's going to get better, right? Nope. We get Ronda Rousey coming out, man. My favorite part is hearing the crowd during this segment. Crowd's chanting, Becky, we want Becky, we want Becky. Who doesn't want the man? Becky's the man. Becky's the true champ. But then we got to listen to some dialogue from Ronda Rousey talking about how she the baddest bitch in the world. She never gives up. She's not a quitter. Even though she's banged up and hurt, she's a true champion. She shows up the next day for work. Trash, trash, and more trash. Yo, last I checked, you've been knocked out twice, right? Yo, Becky caught that big hand, got her nose busted, didn't get knocked out, kept kicking ass, and kept it rolling. You got smashed out by Charlotte Flair. But you coming out here feeding us a whole bunch of garbage, right? Okay, cool, man. Then, like the wannabe champion she is, Ronda Rousey decides she's going to go ahead and she wants to put her title on the line tonight because she's frustrated. She can't get her hands on Charlotte, but she wants to get her hands on somebody. Of course, not a problem. The active GM, Baron Corbin, comes out, lets her know, this ain't going down. Ronda decides she's going to threaten Baron and let him know, hey, if I'm not going to get somebody else, you're going to get the arm bar. Instead, Baron Corbin's like, all right, I'm going to pick somebody out of the back to defend your title against whoever this is, will be the next women's champion. We get probably, man, one of the top 10, if not top 5 best women wrestlers of all time, Mickie James. Been here 20 years, still doing it. Got nothing but props for that woman. But with that being said, she comes out, and to be honest, we get a very sloppy match from her and Ronda. You could tell they were offset. They weren't, they just didn't work well with each other. This wasn't something we should have seen last night. But with this all being said, we get Ronda Rousey throwing on the armbar, getting the tap. Then we get Tamina and Nia coming out, intimidating Ronda. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm going to drop some... Man, honestly, if I was the WWE, this is how I would have booked it. After Charlotte destroyed Ronda, I would have had Charlotte do the same action with the chair at least 1 to 2 more times. I would have pulled Ronda from everything, stripped her of the title. That way she stays undefeated. She doesn't lose any of the, I don't want to call it momentum, but she doesn't lose the nostalgia that she's kind of built for herself at this minute. And that way we get the strap on offer. And we can get it going back through the rest of the roster. Because to be honest with you, if you're out there and like me, you're tired of the Ronda gimmick already, man. Ronda should be a heel. This is the wrong position and the wrong role for her. Okay, I don't know how this woman who didn't give a shit about people all of a sudden now is a baby face. Like when she comes to the WWE. Like, no, man. She's not one of the most politest people ever. She's one of the hardest interviews from what I've seen from a lot of interviews she's conducted. She's very bitchish, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So if she's going to portray the baddest bitch, man, shouldn't she be the baddest bitch heel? Because she can do things as a heel that she can't do things as a baby face that are going to really get her going and pushing her really with the momentum she needs behind her. Because at this point, if you listen to the crowd's reaction, it's not good. It's not good. Initially, you'll get the pop for her. But as soon as she gets to the ring, we get the Becky chants. Tonight, we hear whenever we hear whenever really Ronda kind of speaks, man. It's just the fans going in at her. And for me, the best moment was after all this, going back to Survivor Series. And when she's leaving and she looks back at the crowd, she's got kind of like this pissed off face, like, y'all don't care about me look. You should have kept that going from there, okay? Ronda shouldn't be here for us. Ronda should be here to cement herself as greatness. Ronda should be a heel. Night continues on. Then we get another crap matchup, man. We get Glorious Gable versus AOP. Earlier in the evening, we get Drake Maverick after pissing himself in Survivor Series. Are you serious? We get Drake Maverick walking through the catering line, man. And as JD from NY206 says, my favorite YouTuber, so if you don't watch that man, you need to go check him out. But as he always says, Titus's catering line. So we see Drake Maverick doing his thing, continuing on. Somebody comes out, makes fun of him. This continues on to the Glorious Gable tag team, continuing to bully and make fun of Drake Maverick. Now, didn't we just go through an issue about Meltzer attacking Peyton Royce and bullying her in a sense, but yet WWE portrays this in one of their scenarios from a team that's supposed to be babyfaces? Anyways, I digress. So, Drake says, hey, I'm going to set something up for you later. My boys versus yours. Fantastic. The match itself, I didn't think the match was bad. We get Gable with the roll-up 1, 2, 3. So Glorious Gable is victorious over AOP. The only thing that frustrates me about this whole situation, I don't think Glorious Gable is a good tag team. On how... All right, let me be more specific. I like how they work in the ring together. I actually think that ring work is really good. Really good. They come up with some damn near creative things working together, especially for the little time that they've been around each other as an in-ring tag team that we've seen. But feeding off each other and their chemistry, their personality and charisma, absolutely a failure for me. Fine. I don't think they should be in the title hunt. Fine. But we get them victorious last night. Now, tell me, what is really in store for them? Because I swear to Jesus right now, if they beat AOP, because you know this is going to be a match at TLC, I can't say we riot. We Twitter bomb them because they can't shut up and they switch it, man. Because I ain't watching it. It's just garbage, man. Man. If I thought a team needed a mouth, obviously AOP has Drake Maverick, and I am fantastic with that. If you guys are new to the channel, I actually said that when it happened, that I thought this was the perfect move for AOP at this point in time in their careers. I think Glorious Gable needs a mouthpiece. I think that would finally make me accept them more as a tag team. Right now, they still feel like two solo wrestlers that were just thrown together, and they're really not fully united. Now, with all that being said, the shirts they rocked on Monday night, I thought were pretty cool. So, it's just frustrating, man. You have all the talent in the world in that tag team division, and it is just going to waste. Your division is a joke. Sorry, guys. And it's all due to your own choices. That's the frustrating thing. Then we get, once again, Ruby Riott versus Natalya. And I understand there is something behind this. It's a storyline. I loved what happened at Survivor Series where these two fought. So Alexa Bliss decided she was going to remove both of them from the team. You don't want that team divided when you're going to the Survivor Series match. I totally understand it. I totally understand it spilling over. But why doesn't the WWE do a situation with this whole scenario where Natalya is earning her way to fight Ruby? Like, let me see her take on Logan. Let me see her take on Liv. Then after she takes on both of them individually, Ruby makes her a deal. Hey, you beat both my girls in a handicap match. Me and you go one-on-one at TLC. This actually would cover the storyline until TLC. But not only that, and I understand it's going to be the same crap we've already seen for the last month, but at least there's something behind this, man. I understand she destroys Jim's glasses, but where are you going with this? Like, for me, Monday night, minus what we're going to talk about next, I felt Monday night didn't do anything to build towards TLC other than set some stuff up. And I don't mean in the way of like actually set it up, because you could add so many good things coming out of Survivor Series to set you in the right direction going towards TLC. But instead, you blew this opportunity, and it's like, is Nia and Rhonda really going to get over for TLC? We don't know if Brock's going to fight at TLC, which is utterly absurd to me. So here we are again, held hostage with this Universal title. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I'm fine with Brock being the champion. But, yo, sign this fool to a contract where he's fighting pay-per-views. This dude don't fight until March. And right now he's in USADA testing anyway, so he has to stay clean. And from what I've seen on Monday night, he looks in fantastic shape, man. Or, yeah, Monday and Sunday. But, or no, sorry, Sunday. But, I don't know, guys. What are you doing with this Ruby and Natalya? We understand, man. Natalya's pissed at Ruby because she broke something she held near and dear to her heart, her father's glasses that he wore out to the ring. But minus that, you can't just sit back on that. You have to continue to build on this. And this would have been a perfect situation to keep Natalya wanting to get at Ruby, but not being able to lay a hand on her until she gets through the other two members of the Riot Squad. So once again, I think the WWE blew an opportunity, and I think they're going to actually have to rush most of their storylines as we progress closer to Survivor Series. Now, let's talk about my favorite part of the whole entire evening. So, throughout the evening, we had so originally it starts out, we get Seth Rollins going out to the ring, talking about his win over Nakamura, yada, yada, yada. And then he begins to speak on the Dean Ambrose issue. Talk about how Dean's always hiding, how it's convenient that he's never around, you know. It's okay. He gets his hands on him at TLC. But Dean decides to come up. And I got to say, these were probably some of the best promos I've seen from Dean since he got with the company. But it's once again Dean tormenting Seth with, you can't get your hands on me. You can't even find me. And Dean tells him, hey, man, if you come find me, you can come get the beatdown you're looking for. So throughout the night, I think in all, up until the last 10 minutes of the show, we've seen 4 different segments of Seth Rollins going to look for Dean Ambrose in different areas, and with him looking in his different areas for Dean Ambrose, you can see literally it's getting to him. It's driving him crazy. It's becoming the thing that drives him at this point in time. But not only that, he's always seconds late. And even one of the segments we seen Seth Rollins is getting an interview. We seen Dean Ambrose walking behind him. Titus comes out a couple seconds after. He's like, dude, Dean was just here. But for me, these were absolutely amazing. And the reason I thought these were so absolutely amazing is it really took me back to the day when I was younger, man. That was one of the best things I think Raw used to do in your 90s, the Attitude Era. I think they told an excellent story. It's like, I don't think the talent was half as athletic as it is now. But the reason they were so good is their promos and the way they told a story that continued throughout the night. It wasn't just the beginning and the end of the show with maybe something sporadically thrown in the middle that really makes no sense as to what we're trying to get to. It's like Stone Cold would come to the show back in the day, and throughout the night it would be trying to get at Vince McMahon, or trying to get at The Rock, or The Rock trying to get at so-and-so. Like, it was always something going on. And I thought this was really done well throughout the night. The only part I didn't think was done well was actually the conclusion to all of it. So at the end, within the last 10 minutes, we get Dean Ambrose in the ring. I think Seth Rollins is gone for the evening, starts talking. talking his junk about Seth. Then we see Seth Rollins running from the back, goes out and attacks Dean. Dean tries to go like he's going to escape through the crowd. Unfortunately, he gets caught, brought back in, but he does end up getting the upper hand. Not only that, laying 2 dirty deeds on Seth Rollins and walking out. And for me, I just didn't think, I thought this was the worst part of it all. I thought this was once again a perfect scenario for Seth Rollins to not get his hands on Dean. And to be honest, I thought this would have been a perfect time to bring Shinsuke over from SmackDown, and you could have had Shinsuke sitting ringside or under the ring while Dean's talking and Seth starts to come out. Dean kind of exits the ring when Seth gets in. Not scared. He just exits, looks at him straight up, doesn't move from there. But then we see Shinsuke come in and take care of the light work. And we just see Ambrose walk off. Just saying, I'll see you at TLC. I thought that would have been a lot more impactful, but regardless, I thought all of this was done really well other than the final segment. But even though that was the ending we got, I can live with it. I didn't think it was absolutely horrible or like it messed everything else up. So with that being said, like I said, man, I only liked a couple parts of the show, if that. And it's just frustrating. But as always, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here. Thank you, as always, for sitting through another episode of What Did We Learn on Monday Night Raw, especially with me being sick and coughing all over the place. But as always, please take names, kick ass, and peace.